Well, how am I going to make that work?
What's up, party people? Steve Mayeda here. We're doing a podcast on the road, Daily Awesome. Subscribe to it, all that sort of good stuff. But we're going to talk about money, and this has to do with a couple things. Number one, cryptocurrency. Number two, entrepreneurship. And number three, what do we need? What do we need in order to be an entrepreneur? And there's a lot of things to this, but this all kind of revolved around one discussion that I was having with somebody. And man, here's the thing. It was actually asked by a woman, but a lot of guys talk about cryptocurrency. A lot of guys talk about money. They talk about career and those types of things. And I think they get it wrong. And it took me a long time to get this right. It took me a long time. And it didn't need to take me 10 or 11 years to get my money situation straight so that I could live the kinds of lifestyles that I wanted. So the number one thing that we got to know with money is if you can create your own money, you win. If you can be somebody that can make money, out of nothing, and that's the thing is money is kind of made up, but it is a thing. It's not so made up when you're broke and you can't afford anything. It's not so made up when you have a ton of money and you can afford all the things you wanted. But money is this made up thing, and if you can pull that out of the ether, the atmosphere, all those sorts of things, then man, you've won. That is the number one thing you can do for money. There's a lot of people that talk about cryptocurrencies. Man, do them, learn about them. I don't have any advice on them. I can tell you what I invest in maybe for another video. But I got started in them about 9 months ago when Bitcoin was about $2,000. And then it went up to about $20,000. Now it's at 14 or whatever. And you know what? Last November, we didn't have a lot of money. I needed to get the cars fixed. We needed a bunch of stuff for the kids. We needed stuff for our relatives. We needed to take a trip to Mexico and bring a lot of stuff with us. And I sold a lot of stuff. I sold about $2,000 worth of stuff of my cryptocurrencies. That would be over $20,000 right now had I not sold it. And I just would have had to hold on to it for 4 or 5 more weeks, and it would have been $20,000. That pisses me off. But still, here's the thing. As an entrepreneur, I have let choices, decisions, events go by me that may have cost me $10,000, $100,000, whatever it is, but I'm still in business, and that's what matters. I can still eat today. That's what matters. I can still create, because here's the fucking thing. A lot of those guys that did get those $10,000, that did get those $100,000 opportunities that I missed are out of business. And I've been in business for 11 years, and I'm gonna have more problems. But the key to being in business isn't just getting the opportunities. Yes, you need to learn how to do that. You need to gain the wisdom to be able to jump on those things, but you need to be able to make the sale. You to be an entrepreneur, which is the most valuable thing, it's better than any investment that you can come up with, needs to be the thing that you focus on. You being an entrepreneur and staying in business, making a sale out of nothing, being able to generate money at all times, being able to live through famine, and then eventually learn to feast, learn to develop wealth, learn to create wealth and create more of it, not for the reasons of just having money to buy cool stuff or to look good, but to benefit yourself and the rest of the wealth that you've accumulated. For right now, one of the things that is the most wealthy in my life is my family. It's fucking awesome, man. It's my family, then my business, my health is actually way up there. There's no specific order. But those are the things of wealth in my life. So the more wealth I create feeds those things. For a long time, I thought that the more money you had just made you more of an asshole. Sure, if you're doing it for society, those are your definitions, you'll become an asshole. Become a dick. Because society's not personal. It's not your friend. It comes and goes with or without you, whatever. Another discussion for another thing. But this is why entrepreneurship is so key. So, you know, this lady was asking me about it, and she was asking me about how I got started. I said, man, it's a joke how I got started. I got started in the weirdest way. I got started in the weirdest fucking way. So how I got started in this business was that somebody just offered me money for it. So I was volunteering in it, you know, doing intern work, whatever you want to call it. I was doing it for free. Somebody offered me $8,000 for 4 days. Guess what? I took it. Nobody's paid me $8,000 for 4 days. You know, nobody had before. Like, holy shit, that's unbelievable. And so that got me started in business. Why? Because I could make a sale. It's the number one thing. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you need to be able to make a sale. You don't need to learn how to make a website. You don't need to learn how to run an email list. You don't need to learn how to do all this fancy shit. You need to make a sale. Number two thing is that you need to then take that money from that sale and create another product. And guess what? That product needs to be something that costs less than what you're going to sell it for. So that's the second thing, is create a product, create something. In order to generate profit, you just need to sell it for more than what it took for you to make it, including the time, including your expenses, all the cost of all the materials, of whatever. But here's the other thing. The third thing is you need to put a value on it. You need to put a value on it. Now, all these people hear that and they hear this bullshit that I'm going to put value on something, and I'm just going to say it for what it is. No, it needs to function at that level. It needs to be able to be bought at that level in society. In fact, that's the number one thing in capitalism, which there's a lot I could say about capitalism that is flawed. But the one thing that's right about selling things in capitalism, and you need to know this for making sales, is that you need to sell something for what it is worth in the marketplace. Fuck, you can even carry that over into dating. You need to sell whatever it is you're selling for what it's worth in the marketplace. That means if people are paying for a product I create on men's development, I need to sell it at the highest price possible of what I can sell it at. That doesn't mean I'm always going to sell it at that. That means that there's individual choices. That means that I give charity away. But that means that on my advertisement, as my goals for selling it, I'm going to sell it as that. So that's super, super fucking important. All right? Now, a lot of people sit there and go like, you know what? In order for me to be an entrepreneur, I need to have all these skills. I need to have passion. I need to be filled with all these things. Look, all the stuff that Gary Vee says is pretty much fucking right. The guy's a better entrepreneur than me, but whatever. We're both entrepreneurs. I'd even say you can't even measure success of an entrepreneur just by him making a certain amount of money. It needs to be on how long he's been in it. It needs to be on how much he's done it, how experienced he is in it. And the thing is I don't watch a lot of Gary Vee videos because I'm too goddamn busy doing my own goddamn business. It's another thing. If you want to be in business, don't watch a bunch of videos by people. Just start your business. Make a sale. Get in business. Get somebody to give you something. Every single product that I sell, I make up that price. Now, sometimes you might pull that price out of your ass, but really it's defined by the marketplace. And the number four thing is the price that you create for your product, defined by the marketplace, defined by that, needs to be worked for and sold by you. So you need to market it as that. If you can't market it, you can't do it. And here's the thing, I'm terrible at tech. I'm terrible at, it's like Chinese, it's so frustrating. I'm terrible at proofreading anything. I'm good at talking. And I'm good at creating content around men's development, dating, social dynamics, about how people can live their best life and so on. I'm good at that stuff. It is like Chinese to get me to code. It is like Chinese to get me to work a DAP point, which means, I can't remember what it stands for, but to get your Stripe, your merchant account hooked up with your website and all this sort of stuff. But I learned how to do it. I learned how to do all those things. And it took me forever, and I never wanted to. Sometimes it took me 6 months. Sometimes it literally took me 2 years. You know, my buddy Nick Quick, I was just talking about him on another podcast. He's like, I do all my website stuff. And he had his marketing so juiced out in 2011 and 12, and even before then. Like, I can't do that. He's like, look, if I can do it, you can do it. I'm like, bullshit. You're clearly better at something. He's like, I might be. But you're going to have to learn how to do it. Well, guess what? I can do it. It took me a long time. It took me probably 2 years from that conversation, to be able to get my websites working in those different ways. And until then, I need to hire somebody, and you're gonna need to hire people. You need to know how to do that. But anyway, people ask about making money. People ask about investments, and I know we didn't talk about cryptos too much. I'm really not a crypto guy for that shit. Definitely not. But look, people always talk about this crypto shit like they're gonna make a ton of money, and I'm invested in it. And, you know, I do think it's a good thing to be involved in. But Jesus Christ, man, the number one thing you can do to make money is learn how to create it out of nothing, and that's what an entrepreneur does. So go and do that, or get a job where you can create enough wealth to do something with your money that you want to do with it. Remember, your wealth feeds your wealth. At least that's how I do it. In any case, Daily Awesome Podcast. Hope you liked it. I'm about to meet with a client now and talk about some good stuff. Anyway, I love working. I love being in business. Thank you guys. And the more I can be in business, the more I can create cool videos like this. So check out our free stuff link. And if you like some of the stuff that we have, buy it, because it works and it's fucking good. And it stood the test of the marketplace and time. And man, the cream rises to the top. All right, later.